Big Show. The Big Show. The Big Show. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Sam Finkel. Welcome to The Big Show at Rutgers University. In this show, we explore creativity, the arts, innovation, and just what it takes to imagine something and then make it a reality. Along the way, we'll introduce you to the interesting people and communities making it all happen at Rutgers and across the state. In our inaugural episode, what better theme to explore than what it takes to put on a show? We know it takes a lot, and so do today's guests. First, we'll take you to the State Theater, one of the oldest theaters in New Jersey. Together, we'll explore this historic venue, which has been bringing music, performance, and entertainment to audiences since the 1920s. Then we'll talk with Anthony and Michael, two Rutgers students who one day decided to write an original musical parody. We'll hear all about how that happened, their writing process, and the show's first run at the Cabaret Theater. They may even try to teach us how to write some music ourselves. The Big Show is a student-made production, and we hope you enjoy the stories we've got to share with you. And now, it's showtime.
My name is Kelly Blythe. I'm the Director of Communications and Community Engagement here at State Theater, New Jersey.
So, can you lead us on our tour?
Sure. Well, welcome to the historic State Theater. We recently celebrated our 100th anniversary on December 26th, 2021. So I guess technically we just celebrated our 101st birthday, which was very exciting. And to culminate to our 100th anniversary, we recently renovated the State Theater. So a lot of the renovations you're going to see right here in the front when you walk into the lobby. We opened in 1921 originally as a silent movie and vaudeville house. Early on, the silent movies didn't last too long, so it became a movie house. And after becoming a movie house, we had, live performances here and there, and we were kind of the talk of the town for a long time. And then in the 60s, when television was on the rise, people were starting to stay home and not do live theater. They didn't really want to go to the movies. They had it on their, had it at home. And we actually closed down for a little bit. And then in 1988, we were renovated to become the Performing Arts Center that we are today.
Okay, that's great to hear.
So this is our second floor lobby. This was the inspiration for the renovations. This lobby was renovated in 2004 for the more beautification of the State Theater, to make it look more like it did in 1921.
So what room are we in right now?
So we are in our brand new studio space. This studio space is a multi-purpose room. We can do cabaret performances in here. We've done a little comedy in here, a magic show, networking events. It's really just been really nice to have this smaller space. We have our main stage, our 1,800 seat hall, but then this is like a more intimate 120 space, multi-purpose room that's been really functional for a lot of things. Also, what's neat about it is that you can see our new Blade marquee, which is part of our renovation. And it kind of goes back to our 1921, 1920s, 1930s days when we had a Blade marquee. It's really nice, and when it's lit up, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I can't imagine it not being here. So it wasn't there for
It wasn't here for the longest time. We just had the little rectangle marquee out front, and so this really puts us on the map. You can see us down the street now,
Yeah. How has the theater adapted to demands and expectations from the community?
Well, we listen. We listen to our community. So we have changed, through the years. We listen to what the needs are. If we need more concerts, if we need more Latin concerts, if we need more family programming, we do regular surveys. We have four wonderful community engagement committees that really help us drive the diversity of our programming.
So now that we're in the theater, what would you say is the best seat in the house?
Oh, the best seat in the house? It's personal preference, right? I like front balcony, first row, no one in front of me. I can see everything. That is really my preferred. And if I can't get that, I want dead center orchestra downstairs.
So you mentioned that in the 80s it became like a performing arts center.
Mm-hmm.
How did that change the theater in any way?
Oh, it changed it tremendously, right? We weren't a nonprofit theater. We were just a movie house and the fun place to go. And then we're still the fun place to go. And then it became, well, what does that mean? So that becomes really building a season and having the variety, having a dance show, having a comedy show, having a Broadway show. And so that first season in 1988, we had 25 performances, including American Repertory Ballet's The Nutcracker, which we still present every year to this day. So 25 performances in 1988, and now we present 200 performances a year. So it really just changed what we could provide to the community, right? Being a nonprofit theater that has this variety of programming.
Okay, touching on the community, can you also describe its impact on the cultural landscape of New Brunswick?
For sure. I mean, being in central New Jersey's backyard and providing these experiences where you don't have to go far. So we know that we need to make things accessible and provide affordable seating for all. You know, our mission is to provide performances for all ages and backgrounds, and we know that, and that is really, I think, once we grasped that and made that part of our mission, I think that's where we start to grow. So this is the stage. Very big when you're on here, right? It feels very different being on stage versus in the seats. We are generally like a standard Broadway house in the stage capacity. So this dressing room has hosted many artists through the years in our long history. And one of the artists that I can really think of that was in this room was Aretha Franklin. And Aretha Franklin brought quite an entourage with her, but this was her room. Everybody else had to go to the other rooms. This was her room. And you know, it depends on the artist of what they want this room to be. And the community has, you know, it's been generations that have come here. You know, grandmas, great-grandmas, now the kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids. And we hear these stories through our tours, when people are at performances, about when they were here and they saw Sound of Music, or when they were here and they saw Aretha Franklin live, or when they were here and they saw Singing in the Rain on the movie screen, you know? So it's been really just a wild ride to hear all those stories, and just know that we have been part of this community for so long.
Hi everyone, this is Rutgers Scarlet Media. It's your host, Adil. Today is a good one, guys. We're talking about Diary of the Simpy Kid, the musical parody of Diary of the Wimpy Kid. It premiered on January 19th to 21st at Cabaret Theater at Rutgers University. Today I have the co-writers and co-directors, Anthony Graceffo and Michael Trujillo. How are y'all?
I'm good.
I'm doing great.
I'm very happy to be here on the first episode of the big show.
Of the big show.
Oh, snap.
The co-writers and
believe.
co-directors.
That's right.
This show was amazing, y'all. You know what? Before we even get into it, introduce yourselves. Who are y'all?
I'm Mike. I'm a junior. I'm an English and theater double major. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Anthony. I'm a sophomore. I'm a filmmaking major, and you're at Rutgers. That's it.
It's lit.
It is
here.
lit. Purple.
The first time I met y'all was a year ago at Spring Awakening,
Yes.
a wonderful show. But I remember during rehearsals and even during the show itself, there was some chatter going on between y'all. It was about this musical, a knockoff of the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, a musical parody. How did that start? What was the idea behind it?
Honestly, I this is like a funny story, because I was just like looking at my friend Naya. Shout out to you, Naya. I was looking at her. I was like, man, you give Roderick energy. And I was just like, also the Disney Plus series, not series, the movie in Disney Plus also came out, the animated one.
Yeah, the bad one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was it was like the time when the old movies got added to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I know you watched them like right away.
And I was just, what do you call it? I always wanted to write a musical. It's always been on my bucket list. And I was like, okay, like this could maybe be a good musical, because I was just like looking for inspiration, because I was just like, I don't know what can make a good musical.
Yeah.
So then with like when it came to like, I guess like when I was like, okay, Diver Wimpy Kid, I was like playing with the music, and then I was just like, it was Headshot Day actually.
Oh, Spring Awakening.
Yeah. And I was just like,
I don't even.
I was just playing
All a
it,
blur.
and then Anthony was like listening and was like, wait, this could be fire. And then I was like, Anthony, let's do it. And then like,
Yeah, and then a couple of rehearsals, we like messed around with lyrics and like made up songs like as a joke, and then once that show was over,
That was
I
in
think
April or May.
Yeah, I think it ended in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, like midway through April, and then I said to Mike, or you said to me, it was like we were like, are we gonna like, we have to do this, we have to see this through, and then once like May started, I think we hit it hard over the summer, and then scrambled to finish it up in the fall because we had to propose it.
Did y'all start writing the lyrics first, or the actual musical, like the dialogue, or was it the beat?
It was all at
lyrics,
once. It was all
the
at once.
melody?
I would say yes for both. I feel like it would feel like, oh, this would be a good moment. Like you look at the film, like, okay, this would be a good moment for a song, but also like you like, how do we incorporate it in the libretto? So like I feel like it was like a good mix. Like we would go through the libretto and be like, oh, this would be a good song moment, or also we would play a song like, okay, we need something that builds around the song. It was kind of like
Yeah.
a mix of both.
The process was like of writing the entire thing was shaped around like, how do we include this? How do we include this? Just picking the things from the originals that we liked, that we knew people remember, and then trying to like force them in to the show in a funny way.
You did it right away. How was
Yeah.
that? Did you plan on doing that, or were you like, okay,
Yeah.
we should do this right away?
Well, we knew that Spring Special Project at CAB was kind of like not our only shot, but like
Yeah.
kind of our only shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call it. I'm sorry. I also felt like when we were like doing it, we workshopped it. Like we would like at least like show it to like our peers or like friends.
A
and
few
we-
people.
Yeah, like a few people, and just we would take their feedback like seriously. I remember at first like our first draft of the show, and it was
It's terrible.
it's terrible.
Horrible. It's horrible.
There was no plot. It was just like literally what we said, just fun moments of the show. It was very
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, but like there was no
Yeah.
plot, and like obviously like if there's no plot, like what's the point?
Yeah.
And what do you call it? I showed it for my friend, and my friend was like, "You need like something that keeps the audience like going and like what you want."
It was so different. There were so many different songs. There was a cool hot spice dance number. There was a really sad song about growing up as a girl in middle school. How do you even rehearse that with just you two, or did you have people to rehearse it with out loud or practice it?
This is our opportunity to shout out Dustin.
Ooh.
Dustin was our music director and our arranger, and he is definitely our MVP. We couldn't have done anything.
Yeah.
We couldn't have done the show without him.
Mm.
But yeah, he led the vocal rehearsals, and I did some vocal rehearsals too, and you did. We kind of all just taught the music.
Shout out Dustin. And who are we going to shout out for that dancing? Because the dance number, the choreography.
Yeah. Also,
How did that come about?
that was Bonnie.
Oh.
So also a shout out to Bonnie.
Ooh, shout out Bonnie.
But I knew like from Spring Awakening, because we worked with Bonnie,
Yep.
Bonnie Trenzi, shout out. Again, I knew that like she is an amazing choreographer. Like she taught me a little tap, and I was like, I wanted a tap number in the show. And, like I think Bonnie's the best person, because Bonnie taught tap in a very like easy way that like even like everyone was like catching on. And like tap is a very hard and like intricate like style of dance, and Bonnie just did every style amazingly. Like, and also like sometimes like last minute we'd be like, okay, Bonnie, we need you to like choreograph like 16 bars of something.
Yeah.
And Bonnie would be like, oh wait, what? And then, and Bonnie on the spot would be like, okay, here, boom, boom, boom. Like, and you know,
We gave her a lot of stuff last minute, and she was able to manage.
yeah.
I think going back to the music of it, what advice would you give to someone who has, I guess in terms of music, who has a melody down, who has the lyrics down, who wants to make a song or a musical, but they're just scared to put it on paper, put their ideas on something because they think it would be too weird or it would be too ridiculous or people wouldn't take it seriously. Do you have any advice for people like
I
that?
just say go for it because in general, like, you know, when it comes to like writing a musical or writing like anything in general, it's an expression of who you are and those creative ideas are you. So like, don't be afraid, like put yourself out there. Again, the whole message of the show is be who you are and express who you are. So honestly, like just do it. Like again, like,
Just do it.
yeah.
Anthony, do you have any advice or insight?
Yeah, I would say if you're trying to write something like this or just anything, like musical,
Yeah.
my one piece of advice is like finish it. As like bad or like, I don't know, as bad as you might think it is, just if you get to the end of a song, a story, whatever, just like once you're at the end, like then you can begin the real work and then you can like grow, but you can't improve and you can't like refine your work if you don't like finish it. Like we said before, like our first draft of this show it's horrible. Like it's horrible. I can't stress it enough.
I don't believe that. I feel like it's
No,
still
it
made
was-
by reading.
It's bad, but we had to like finish it. We had to get to the end.
Yeah, we
Like,
had like
power through.
7 or like 8 drafts, like
There's-
coming out of
there's
it.
like 8 drafts.
Yeah.
But we had to like power through to get to that first ending to like then go back and rewrite. And we were saying earlier, we literally rewrote from the first draft. How much of the show do you think is like different rewritten? I would say like maybe half.
I would say we kept 60% and then like 40%
Okay.
we changed, I would say.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my advice. It's just like if you're working on something, finish it
Yeah.
and then start again.
So how was the co-writing process like? Was it half and half? Was it collaborative? Did y'all just go into each other at random moments? How was that?
So for the script, we did a lot of it over the summer, and we live pretty far away, so it was all over like FaceTime. We would get on FaceTime and then write the script like together live at the same time. You know, argue over like jokes, and like try to have your idea win. But I think in general we had a very similar like vision for where the show was gonna go and how things were gonna play out story wise. Like and tone. The tone was like we were both dialed in on like, oh, this is
Goofy.
right. This is gonna be very silly, and these are the kind of jokes we're gonna make.
It would be fun because like we'd be like either like it was the summer, so like either like Anthony would be out like doing something important, and then I'd be like calling him, and then he's like in the middle of the beach, like, hey Anthony, here's this idea, and Anthony's like, I'm literally at the beach, or like it would just be like, or like it would be vice versa. It was just like random moments, like we would have a random thing of inspiration, either we would text right away, or like voice memo. It was fun, I would sometimes come to Anthony with a melody, or then Anthony would pop out some beautiful like instrumental, and I'm like, oh, let's use that. Like, it was definitely like, it was just like, it was good. It was like an easy process. Like, I feel like it was very like simplistic. Like, obviously, like you would have like contrasting like opinions, but then what we'd do is just like make arguments for both of our sides, and then we would just compromise. Like, I think that's like the best way, like collaboration. I think that's like very important.
How can we support Diary of the Simpy Kid though? Going on, what's next for y'all? How can we continue to show love?
We're planning on putting out an album of some kind. So people can listen at home and the cast can have their voices locked in, the original cast. And if you want to follow us, we're on Instagram at Simpy Kid Musical. And what else?
my friend Daphne, she's gonna make a documentary about like the whole process and how we like wrote it, like just like the process and everything. You know, tune in for that. I think it's gonna be fun. Also, you never know. We're gonna continue to refine the show.
Yep.
You know, because no show again is perfect.
This show isn't is definitely not perfect.
Yeah, but hopefully you never know. Like we'll maybe be off Broadway somewhere, or like, you know, produce at a community theater, or just like somewhere else. You know, I'm looking forward to like the journey what the show has, and you know, it's gonna be fun.
We got Off Broadway. We got a documentary. We got an album coming out. Plug in the Instagram, y'all.
I guess it is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna be with it. Y'all should be following it too. Follow their Instagrams. Oh man, I was here with co-directors Michael Trujillo, Anthony Graceffo, co-directors and co-writers of Diary of the Simpy Kid. Man, this is RU Scarlet Media, Rutgers Scarlet Media, your host Adil Yaqub. Have a wonderful day. I'm excited. You should be too. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.
What is up, New Brunswick? That was awesome. That was so fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Won't you tell me what I missed while you were climbing up there last night? You shouldn't treat your friends like this, not after all that we have been through. Well, the night looked red while we stood up there.
I'm Andrew,
And I'm Sam.
and today we're with,
Anthony Graceffo.
and we're gonna get a hands-on tutorial on how to make music and find out a little bit more about the music and making of his play,
Yes.
Diary of a Simpy Kid.
So Anthony, what are we looking at here?
Right now we have pulled up the Logic session for Cheese Touch, which is the second song in Simpy Kid. Logic is a program made by Apple. It's kind of like GarageBand paid version, and it allows you to record audio and record virtual instruments like piano, bass, guitar, drums, anything you might need for this.
Awesome. Like, what was the foundation of the song? Do you have a melody in your head?
Okay, yeah. So for this song, the first thing that came was the bass line, which is this bass line.
Nice bass.
Yeah, this is a fake bass played by the keyboard. Adding drums is pretty standard after that. The piano part is pretty bare for this. So here's like our basic beat. So did bass, then piano, eventually wrote this little string part.
And it kind of comes together after all that.
Yeah, so after I had this bottom part, like the bass line and the piano part filled out, started writing verses, and that's all this down here.
So the music comes before the lyrics.
Usually, in this case, yes, the music came before the lyrics.
And then could you make us something original? I know don't put you on the spot, but kind of, but take us through the process of doing that.
So what do you want to make? What kind of stuff do you want to make?
What about like an end credit song for our show?
For your show?
Yeah.
We could make a theme for your show.
For the big show.
Yeah. Okay. How do you want it to be?
Something.
It should have a hook, like a vocal hook. The big show, where you sing the big show.
Oh, like an old timey jingle.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we can. Let's find a nice drum loop that we like, and we'll start with that.
Can't help but dance.
That's it. That's the big show. That's the big show.
That gets the energy pumping.
I like it kind of slowed down. All right.
That's the big show.
How did you slow it down?
So it comes with a tempo already, so you can choose to use its native tempo, the sample, or you can speed it up. Like, watch, if you That's the cool thing about these Apple loops. They're really easy to just like do that, and then you could also, you know, it lets you do that very easily. All right, let's make this called The Big Show. I like that tempo. The Big Show. All right, now.
America runs on it.
I kind of like. Let's hear how that sounds. Let's at least try it. That's good. That's the Big
That's cool.
Show. I need to.
So a lot of this is kind of just plug and play.
I mean, that's not how. Yeah, that's not how I usually do it. But in a pinch like this,
Or for beginners like us.
right? You come in here, and also GarageBand has this too, and GarageBand is free. So if you want to make, you can make music without any prior experience or knowledge these days. With audio editing, right? You can move clips around, duplicate them, trim them. So say I want this guitar loop over here, but I don't want it over here. I want it to have a kind of a break. So
That's the Big Show.
Okay.
all right, so now we have, so now this here, now we can join these together and create a new audio file. Boom.
Wow.
And now here's our lead guitar. Bring in our beat. Yeah.
It has a unique sound for the ages.
Now we can record something. So we'll find a bass instrument in here. If we go to bass, we have all these basses to choose from. Kind of like this one. Here, let's listen to this. Now that wasn't perfect, right?
No, but it's
First take, but what we'll do is we'll go in here now. Here's some more, detailed stuff. Yeah, so
cool.
when you record a virtual instrument with your piano in a software like Logic, it records as what's called MIDI data. So MIDI data you can edit. So each one of these notes comes up on this little grid here, and you can.
Almost like a keyframe.
Yes, and you can edit it. So say this note was wrong, I can drag it down and make it right. Let's just hear how this. Okay, I'm okay with that. This note is a little loud, so we can take it down right here with the velocity.
Is the loudness?
We could have this be our hook. On top of that, you put some vocals, like The Big Show. That's it. Just The Big Show. Yeah. And that's it. You got to keep it simple with these kind of things. You can't overthink it. That's the thing about these virtual instruments. It's like it's hard to get them. Sometimes when you want the little nuances.
Yeah.
We could also do a little octave. I'll show you. I like that better.
Yeah,
It sounds more definitive.
Yeah.
Beep boop.
Yeah. Beep boop. All right. So, do you want to start putting some vocals over this?
I would love to.
The Big Show.
Yeah, you can do it nasal. You can do it.
The Big Show.
Yeah, you want diversity. You want different sounding voices so that when they're all together, they sound like full.
Show.
We could do that. How do we know when to do it?
I'll tell you. I'll sing it with you. Ready? The Big Show. The Big Show. The Big Show.
That was
Get a
so
little
much
funk on
fun.
that one.
Little funkadunk.
So now we'll do it again. You just do it again. That's just what you do.
But just do like.
Now do a different voice. Different voice. Ready? The Big Show. The Big Show. The Big Show. Do you guys want to hop in and do one? The Big Show.
The Big Show. The Big Show.
The Big Show.
The Big Show.
The Big Show.
Cool. We can do it at the end like a yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
That's it.
That's a good cut. That's a good cut.
All right, so now we're gonna do a little quick mix of this, and put in some quick fades. This is like some really basic audio editing stuff. All right, let's try to listen to all of this together, and see if we like it. So now here is the Big Show theme. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Anthony. Well, thank you. We learned a little bit about your process, and then what did we do?
And we made a theme song for the Big Show. Yeah.
Very
The
productive.
Big Show.
The Big Show.
Yeah. All right, Anthony.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time. Next time on The Big Show, follow the Scarlet Media team as they explore the sustainable and creative endeavors of students at Rutgers. Hear from groups such as Are You Thrifty to learn more about how they work to be eco-friendly in creative ways every day, and how you can be too. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.
The Big Show.